When scientists try to predict storms, there's often a term that they use, 100-year storm, which conjures up images of rare, catastrophic weather events that happen only once in a century. However, in recent years, these supposedly infrequent storms seem to be occurring much more often than the 100-year name would make you expect, raising questions about what this term actually means. So let's dig into what 100-year storms actually are and why they're happening so much more frequently. A 100-year storm is actually a statistical concept used in hydrology and meteorology to describe a rainfall event that has a 1% chance of occurring in any given year. It does not mean that such storms happen only once every 100 years. Rather, it's a way to express the probability of a certain level of rainfall or flooding within a specific time frame. For example, if a region is said to experience a 100-year storm, it means that there is a 1 in 100 chance that a storm of that magnitude will occur in any year. Similarly, a 50-year storm, another common term, has a 2% chance of occurring annually, while a 500-year storm has a 0.2% chance. You can start to see how the math works out. These statistics are based on historical data and are used by engineers and planners to design infrastructure like dams, drainage pipes, levees, and drainage systems to withstand potential flood risks. But as climate change and extreme weather events become more common, and these models are based on historical data, what was a 100-year storm even just 10 years ago might soon be something like a 20-year or 50-year storm depending upon the region. This is why to us today, 100-year storms are happening more frequently. The calculation of 100-year storms relies on historical rainfall data, typically gathered over decades, to estimate the likelihood of extreme weather events, like we mentioned. This data is then used to create IDF curves, or intensity, duration, and frequency curves, which show the relationship between the intensity of rainfall, the duration of the event, and the frequency of occurrence. These models ultimately help determine the expected rainfall totals for storms of various magnitudes and are essential in urban planning and flood risk management. So why are they happening more frequently? Let's talk about that in more detail. The seeming increase in the frequency of 100-year storms can largely be attributed to climate change and rising global temperatures, which we can observe in the data. As global temperatures rise, the climate system is becoming more unstable, leading to more extreme and unpredictable weather patterns. This ultimately leads to challenges like increased atmospheric moisture, changes in weather patterns, and this all boils out as an underestimation in the models since they're based on historical data. The increasing frequency of 100-year storms has significant implications on our existing built infrastructure and our urban planning for the future. Infrastructure designed based on outdated models may be insufficient to cope with new extremes, leading to more frequent and severe flooding, damage to property, and loss of life. So that's the concept of a 100-year storm, once seen as a rare and catastrophic event, and why these rare and catastrophic events are becoming increasingly commonplace in the face of climate change.